For more on this, we are joined by Hatem Dhiab, managing partner at Gerber Kawasaki. Good to have you on this morning. What are your big takeaways from this report?
Good morning, Jill. Thank you for having me. It's a slight miss on revenue, gross merchandise value. However, we're seeing some tremendous supply chain issues, and that's affecting pretty much every e-commerce, every retailer, and Shopify obviously powering the whole e-commerce world is suffering a little bit. I don't see it as a big issue going forward. I think they're managing pretty well, considering how bad these issues are.
What is the thinking in terms of when things might improve? We're hearing maybe middle of next year, but I feel like it's so complicated, the reason for the supply chain issues. Do you think that it might be longer?
Yeah, I don't think it's an easy problem to solve, right? So we shut down the economy and now we reopen it, and people are spending so much money. I mean, I'm calling from LA that is 70 ships docked off the LA port right now. So I think it's going to take some time. However, what we're seeing is a lot of retailers, a lot of entrepreneurs are trying to shift their supply chains into the U.S., and that's going to take some time, but it's happening, it's working, and that's just the reality of how things are going to work out.
How important is the buy now, pay later model for Shopify?
Very important. I talked to a CEO who's a big retailer on Shopify yesterday, and he told me that the buy now, pay later bucket, or at least the consumer that uses that feature spends on average 25% more per trip to his site. So it's really an important thing, and it's important to know that Shopify is an investor in a firm. So they have exposure to that, and Shopify Capital is also a way for them to participate. So it's a really growth area for them, and I think it's going to be big going forward.
And in terms of growth, what about overseas? Which markets is Shopify really looking to expand into?
Yeah, nothing on the earnings release yet. I think the call is in 10 minutes, but it's going to be huge, right? They had the UK growing at 30-40% last quarter, Australia too. But it's the world is big, and Shopify offers some tremendous tools, and I know they were trying to grow in Brazil, they're trying to grow in other areas. So we're going to be looking at that, and I think the suite of tools they provide to retailers and entrepreneurs is just so good that it's going to have tremendous success wherever they go.
We're looking here at some promotional stuff with the partnership with Spotify, but we have seen Shopify partner with so many big names, Target, for example. How important is that, especially as you look at an Amazon, which I guess is their big competition here?
Every business wants to be a platform. Shopify is a real platform. I think they have over 7,000 partners that have apps and tools for their users. So those partnerships are really important, right? If Spotify and Google and any provider that can bring them more consumers onto their platform is going to be tremendous to them. And they're very smart for opening it and allowing other people to build better technology and better tools. The same entrepreneur that I talked to yesterday, he said Shopify is offering them ways to better manage their inventories, to better notify their customers that stuff is going to be delayed or come earlier and so forth. So really improving that consumer experience, and therefore just a success for everyone that's involved.
Really great insight. What are you expecting to hear on the call?
I'm looking forward to the call. And listen, I love Toby. I love Harry. They're always very energetic, and they just really built a tremendous business. I mean, if you think about $400 billion in gross merchandise value, they power basically 10% of the e-commerce in the globe. So I think they're going to give us some insights as how fast these supply chain issues will be solved, and what they're doing to improve them.
Are you surprised that the supply chain issues, that it's gotten to this point and it's as bad as it is, just in general, as you look at the market? Because the ripple effects are incredible, not just Shopify. We're hearing from basically every retailer about this.
I think everyone is surprised that we went through a pandemic. We're still trying to figure out how to come out of it. Yes, I mean, the world was super connected, and when we close all these borders, then issues happens, and we have outbreaks all over the world. I think what's going to happen is we're going to wake up and figure out, hey, how can we make these supply chains a little bit less complicated? And I think that's really important, and that's really what's going to improve the consumer experience, the entrepreneur's experience, and ultimately, we've got to learn from what happened the last 2 years.
I know more about the supply chain than I ever thought I would ever know about it, and it's just incredibly complicated, to your point. Hatem Dhiab, managing partner at Gerber Kawasaki. So good to have you on this morning. Appreciate it.